Hello everybody, T.Dy from I Love Consulting. So today I will talk about retrospective. So what is a retrospective? A retrospective is a technique that we use in Agile methodology, and it occurs at the end of each sprint. So one sprint is about 2 weeks, and it allows the Agile team to review the iteration. Review an iteration, what does it mean? Review an iteration is about discuss about the positive points, so the points on the strength of the team, the good point that they want to keep and to remain for the next iteration, and also the most important, the negative points, so the difficulties that the team made in the iteration and want to improve for the next iteration. Retrospective is very effective for continuous improvement because it allows you to always find by yourself and with your colleagues a way to be better for the next iteration. So the retrospective technique can be used to all the team, I mean the manager team or IT team. It can be even applied to your personal life, such as in your family, if you have any problems, so you can do yourself a retrospective in your mind, and try to detect positive point that you want to keep in your family and negative point that you want to improve for a better life. To be effective, the retrospective have to occur as frequently as possible. Don't wait 1 year after set up a retrospective. No, it doesn't work. Retrospective, for example, in an Agile team occurs at the end of each sprint, like I mentioned before, every 2 weeks. But in a manager committee, it can occur every month or every 2 months. That's enough. Don't need to set up every week. But don't set up it every 6 months. It's too long. A retrospective is a meeting that lasts between 1 hour and 2 hours. Retrospective is a private meeting of the team, so don't feel obligated to share the results of your retrospective to your other colleagues or to your other team, because all that you said in this retrospective is all about your team. So keep it private. Next, if you want to share, it's up to you. There are several techniques to perform a retrospective, also in the form but also in the content. First, I will treat about the content. So the first one is what we call individuals retrospective. So that means that each person write his idea on sticky notes and present his ideas to the other members of the team, and then all the team find patterns as a group. The second one is the conceptual technique. So each person have to write or to share one word that describe the iteration. Finally, the rating. So during the rating, each person have to rate the iteration objectives from 1 to 5. Of course, if the rating is very low, the team have to identify improvement to the next iteration in order to improve this rating. Maybe during retrospective, there are some off topics that will be discussed, such as architecture problems or deployment problems or design problems. All these details, you have to set up another meeting for this. In this retrospective, you have to identify improvement for the next iteration. In a case there's too many topics to treat within the time, you can proceed by dot voting. For apply the dot voting, you have to give limited point to each person. So each person hold a limited point, and they can apply this point, all of this point on one topics, or dispatch them to other topics. How to calculate the number of points to each person? You have to count the total amount of topics to treat and divide by 2, so that result the number of the points you can give. Once improvement action identified, you have to assign each action to one member of the team, not external person, one member of the team, so on with a due date if possible. Otherwise, you can also add this action in the backlog item for the next iteration. For example, if the team identified an action for the director of the group, you can't assign the action to the director because he's not in the team, but you can assign this action to one member of the team to go talk with the director. During the retrospective meetings, the Scrum Master have to time box the meeting because it can exceed the time, and the Scrum Master also have to ensure that the team identified small steps for improvement and not try to change the world. And the most important is that the Scrum Master have to ensure that each person talks and expresses himself. If you want to diversify your retrospective meetings, there are several methods. The classical method, just display the positive point on the point which have to improve on the action. Starfish method, so you have to display 5 patterns, which are more of, less of, start to, stop to, and what do we keep. The soccer, so the goal is our objective is to reach. The black shirts represent impediments or problems encountered during the sprint. The white shirts represent our team, so our forces on what made us progress. The score is the rating of the iteration. The clock room is where we can identify improvement to perform for the next iteration. The speedboat, so the island represents the objectives of the team to reach. The wind represents our forces on what made us progress. The sun represents the positive points of the sprint that make us smile. The anchor represents the problems encountered during the sprint. The rock represents the external problems and impediments to remove or to avoid. Maybe one day you can create your own method and technique of retrospective. So this is the end of this video. So if you like the video, put some like, subscribe to my channel, and share this video to your family, to your friends or to your colleagues, and put some comments below to share your tips in how to retrospective, because I can be interested and it can also interest other colleagues. So see you next time. Bye bye.